congratulations on your show.
Thank you so much.
It is so wonderful. It really is. I watched the first 2 episodes, and you're a star, and it is so wonderful that you are shining a light on Tourette's. So I know that you've been sharing your story on TikTok for quite some time, but what was it like kind of taking this to TV?
It was a little bit like nerve-wracking.
Sure,
There's a
yeah.
lot of definitely like emotions that have gone into it and that I'm still feeling, but taking it to TV I feel like was the best thing I could have done. Because I feel like I'm able to reach a certain type of audience and people that I wasn't really able to through social media.
Yeah, and I know everybody on social media. I know everybody on social media has been so supportive of you too. So what's it like having that overwhelming support? Like you said, it is a little nerve-wracking.
But I love it.
But you love it,
I love it. I love having people in my corner because I wouldn't, like, without their support and having them, like, follow me and love me, like, I wouldn't be where I am, like, without them.
Sure, yeah.
So.
Was there any hesitation whatsoever?
I would say that the hesitation stemmed from how it's going to be portrayed and how Tourette is going to be portrayed, but also, like, getting the story out there that I'm not Tourette. Like, I am not telling and describing Tourette for everyone who has Tourette. This is just my story with Tourette. But I'm trying to show and demonstrate, like, different things that, like, is the proper way to have it be taught and shown, and that can be really nerve-wracking.
Of course, yeah.
Coming from also a condition that's so misleading in the public eye and can be so complicated that it's very hard, can be really hard to portray.
Yeah, what would you say then is maybe the biggest misconception about Tourette?
Is that people tick every single day, 24/7, and you don't. And like, people think that Tourette is a cussing disease, a cussing condition, and it's not. Like, corpolalia is only in 10% of people who have Tourette. And the most important thing, at least to me, to let people know is that when you've met one person, wind it up. When you've met one person with Tourette, you've only met one person with Tourette.
What was interesting to me, because I know that in the first couple episodes, you go to a conference and you're talking about tics that you can pick up from other people. I mean, I'm learning too, watching this. I had no idea that happens.
Oh my gosh, yes, echolalia. It's actually, like, super common to have it, but it's also not super common to have, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
Like, I know people that have it and I know people that don't have it, and it does make it a lot harder for me to go and meet people or watch certain things or see certain things because I automatically will pick up on it. And there's so many, like, different things. Like, that's what makes it so complex and different. But it's also, like, the comorbidities that are, like, seen underneath that no one knows about is also, like, the most debilitating thing, at least I would say.
Yeah. And we learn a lot about your backstory as well, and how you were 18 when you were diagnosed with this, but this is something that you've been living with since you were 7 years old, right? What was it like when you found out that you were diagnosed with this? But I'm sure you probably had some idea, right?
Yes, it was hard to get a diagnosis. I would say that there's a lot of things that as a society and as a whole we all need to learn, including doctors, because that's where a lot of my struggle and a lot of people that I've met who have Tourette through the TAA, like, a lot of their struggles stem from doctors and not knowing enough. When I finally got my diagnosis, it was taken away. Like, there was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of doctors that didn't want to work with me. And it's a lot of them not knowing and finding out and realizing, oh, I don't actually specialize in Tourette or things like that. But when I finally got my diagnosis from someone at the Mayo Clinic who told me, like, I see thousands of cases like you a day. It was very hopeful. It made me so hopeful. It made me feel like like I had people in my corner, like I wasn't crazy, like I wasn't fishing for this, like I just needed help, like I just needed an answer, and I got the answer, and it was really good to hear, at least like from my end, probably from my parents' end too. But what shocked us afterwards was she was like, good luck finding a doctor near you.
Really?
Yeah, good luck finding a therapist near you. So it's just kind of like getting that support and help in your area that you don't have.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've found that? Because we see that you are going through therapy. How has that been going for you?
Oh, lovely. I love Dana.
Yeah.
I love Dana. I love Dana. We've been working together on and off for about 5 years, I would say, right? Yeah. Like, she reached out to me through, like, the very beginning of TikTok and was like, I want to help you. And I was like, please. Yeah. We tried to do everything that we possibly could, and starting with Dana and going through all of what we did with her is a blessing.
Sure.
Because it's changed, like, my life and helped me find coping mechanisms and ways to help, like, myself in public and just learn more about my tics, because learning about my tics helps me help them.
Yeah, sure. What would you, can you describe the tics and like what kind of, maybe triggers them or sets you off a little bit?
So, my tics can set me off, like for example, lavender sets my tics off very, very badly. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's a soap, if it's like a spray scent, like everything lavender.
Okay. I'm glad I have no lavender on.
Hats, like the front of like hats. Sometimes like textures or tastes, like anything from like the weather to clothing that's too tight to jewelry that's too tight to people brushing my hair. It sets my neck tics off. Okay. Anything that like I can read or hear, basically anything isn't safe. Okay. So, so that can be kind of a struggle too when like I want to watch like a movie with Colin, and then it's like Colin, the guy can't be bald, he can't be British, he can't have an accent at all. I'm like, and we're going through and we're like, Baylen, is it okay that the second actor has British? And I'm like, sure. Absolutely. Sure. It's like we have to be very strategic with what we watch.
Yes, I'm sure.
And it's like, no, it's like we do, and then we're like, why am I doing karate in the living room? And I'm like, yes, that is a tic. Like, insane.
Yeah, I know. I did see in the show where you call out every bald guy. So
my dad's bald. Yes, and I got that from my dad. Yes,
you got that from your dad.
That's a great example. I forgot that one. Yes, that does set me off. Yes,
that does set you off.
My dad sets me off. Yes.
Do you feel like sometimes they do say laughter is the best medicine, and I feel like sometimes, and your family has kind of found that too when some things that you say, do you feel like that sometimes you laugh about it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. There is definitely times where it's funny and it's appropriate, and it's kind of like learning. Like my parents had to learn like when it's right to laugh and when it's not right, and things like that. It's kind of like reading me and letting letting me respond first before they do, type of thing, because there's some days where it's just deteriorating and it's not fun.
No, I can't.
And it's just devastating to have like certain days like that where like I really cherish the good days, and then I'm like, my bad days, I'm like, I just try to get through them, type of thing.
Imagine. And, in an upcoming episode, we do see you have like a really bad day, a bad episode. Can you describe what that's like for you? Like you said, it's kind of like really debilitating, I would imagine.
I would say that I don't have tic attacks a lot, but I do have them a good amount of time to know what to do, but also not know what to do, because there's certain times where like there's a lot of things that are out of my control. Sure. It was rough. It was, but I feel like having the people there that I did really helped the situation, because what better place to have a tic attack than with other people that know what to do. And like our parents to other kids that have Tourette's and the people that were helping me had Tourette's, and the only thing is that's like so important is like not hurting myself, because it's just once, like, I obviously have to get up and like move on with my day, but like after that, like I'm just kind of like, I don't really want to do anything else the rest of the day. Like, it kind of feels like I just ran a marathon and then I came back into the gym and I decided to squat 600 pounds and then go run on the treadmill and then do lunges while I'm running on the treadmill. And then, like, it's just kind of like a whole thing of like, oh, I'm doing certain exercises and I'm spraining myself, and it's kind of like the same thing, like, in a way. But it's just kind of like my body's overworked, like, every day.
Sure.
And it's just exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting. But like you said, you have such great people around you, and your family is beautiful. And you have Colin, and I love that you said that Colin is like your medicine.
Oh, yes.
And I'm glad to see that, you know, based on TikTok, two of you are still together.
My Seroquel.
Yeah.
Oh, I do take Seroquel, but he is not that.
Describe what support he is like for you.
Oh, he's like my backbone. Like like everything that I do, like, helps. Like, just being around him helps. Like, he understands me somewhat better than like I understand myself a little bit. Which is kind of like the same way for him. Like, I understand him better than he knows himself.
How are you making the long distance work? Is he still, because based on the two episodes, it seems like he's going to have to move away for work and things like that. Is that what's kind of the status of that right now?
You just have to tune in and see.
But it seems like things are going good, so that's good. Are babies at 25?
Who's Colin?
Oh, who's right? What's
Colin?
happened to him?
I only have Fluffy and Tootie.
Right? I don't know who Colin is. Are babies still on the brain at 25?
They're still on the brain.
They're still on the brain? Okay.
Well, not like every day, but I want babies before 25.
Before 25. That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. And, over the course of this season, we're going to see you.
I'm pregnant and I'm breastfeeding. I'm not.
Breaking news.
Season 2.
Right? Season 2. Here we go. Over the course of the season, we're seeing you grow in your independence. And, your goal is to move out on your own. And I know you're probably going to give me another tease to wait and see, but what was that journey like for you over the course of this season, is trying to, establish more of your independence?
I would say that establishing my independence is definitely in each episode. There's a milestone or some type of achievement or some type of just something that I'm learning or trying to grow from in each episode, and just kind of trying to figure out life and just figure out myself and just figure out like how I'm going to do certain things is definitely like impactful.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone else can look at it and be like, I can be independent too. Like, I can do this regardless of if they have Tourette or they're neurodivergent or not. They can just look at it and be like, you know what? I need to stop telling myself no. Yeah. Like, because you're the only person that's telling yourself no.
How are things going in the kitchen?
They're going.
They're going.
They're going. A lot of different places.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out like what things I can use, what things help. Safety tools, like definitely trying to learn my way around the kitchen with different types of devices, different types of things that I've bought and things that I found off random places.
Sure, yeah. No, I think that's fantastic.
And a lot of them do help, like surprisingly, like I love cooking and I love baking, so any way that I can try to like maneuver around like using the oven or like the stovetop is great.
Yeah. Is it still the goal to move out and be on your own?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fantastic. That is great. So when people watch this, like we said before, you're kind of clearing up misconceptions, but what are you really hoping people take away from this?
I am hoping that people take away a lot of information from Tourette and a lot of information about tic disorders and kind of everything like that. But I just want people to take away from this episode is I just want people to know my name, like just like a personal thing. But in general, I just want to impact and inspire other people, regardless of if it's the next generation or past generations that may not have too much knowledge on Tourette. Just trying to inspire people to be themselves and just no matter what they're going through, just keep going through it, because in order to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, I'm a lot uncomfortable, like every day. So, so I think that's I think it's a good and a bad thing. Like, at least I'm growing each day. I don't know which way I'm growing yet, but.
But I have to say that after people watch this, they are going to know your name, and you are going to inspire a lot of people. So I commend you for putting
marriage
your
that saved my life.
But I commend you for putting it all out there, and I think you are an inspiration to a lot of people. So thank you so much for coming by, telling your story,